Hey everyone, Ferds here, and welcome to my channel, The Forged Sculptures, where I make weapons of any hero, villain, champions of movies and game characters using polymer clay. And for today's episode, I'll be forging Ruby's weapon from Mobile Legends. And without further delay, let's roll the intro. But before this tutorial, I just want to tell you the side story of Ruby, and she is considered as the Little Red Riding Hood of Mobile Legends. First, Ruby lived in a small village among the dark forest, where she lived with her grandparents. During the night, their village is constantly attacked by a pack of wolves, vandalizing the whole village and terrorizing the people. In her small cabin, Ruby was praying in her bed, and beside her was a huge, disproportioned scythe. Maybe her granddad uses it for harvesting crops. But anyways, Ruby was praying for someone to save them from the ravaging wolves that seeks chaos and terror in her village. Luckily, brave Roger came along and saved the village by accident, for he was wandering around the land of dawn. His bravery took a huge toll on the wolves, and because of that, the elders of the village asked Roger to stay and to train the villagers. But one day he left the village without any notice, and no trace of Roger can be found. And because of that, the leader of the wolves, named Pale Tusk, saw an opportunity to strike. On a silent night, moonless night, the Wolf King caught the village off guard and sneaked in with his pack of wolves. In the end, both grandparents of Ruby died from protecting her. Luckily enough, Ruby escaped by hiding under the corpse of her grandparents. And witnessing their death, her character completely changed. Outraged and got back on her feet, picked up the scythes and rushed into the wolves and slaughtered almost all of them. Under the seemingly weak appearance now lies an unsettling, irritable soul. Pale Tusk, the wolves' leader, was the only survivor among the wolves. He was never defeated before, but this time it came into the severest way. After their battle, Ruby regained consciousness, and after Pale Tusk left. But whenever the wolves would howl, her eyes becomes once more filled with rage. That is why, I guess, she wears an eye patch of sort. And that is the story of Ruby. What I like about the characters or heroes in Mobile Legends is that they are seemingly creating stories in which the hero coexists with each other. The irony about it is that Roger is a shapeshifter where he turns into a werewolf, and which is his ultimate, right? He should have an alliance with the Wolf King, but he chose to protect and save Ruby's village. And I guess Ruby is one of the strongest fighters in the game, which is a bit tanky because of her skills and also by the help of equipments, particularly the Bloodlust Axe, which offers a spell vamp, which means that whenever you use a skill and land a successful hit, you gain HP from it. She also has a bit of mobility on her passive skill and great first and second skill, which offers a crowd control, and also is her ultimate that can stun. So overall, she is a balanced hero and very fun to play with. So much for that. let's get back to the sculpture. And this time I am covering both sides of the blade, making sure that there is no exposed part, and covering the aluminum foil with polymer clay, and then adding some details, flattening them out like so, and making sure that these are even. I am adding now the spikes design on top of for the blades. I did not put any armature on these spikes, but I guess this would hold up pretty much right after baking when it hardens. When that's done, we go now to the handle of the Scythe, putting a ample amount of clay covering the foil and adding some grooves and the design of the Scythe using a bunch of tools that are normal tools that you use every day, like this one. Now this would be the grip of the sword, which is wrapped by, I guess, a cloth or a leather maybe. So evenly distributed the clay and adding the detail, the wrap with lines, and do it until the bottom. And lastly, the bottom part of the weapon, which we can see the vines, which I'll show you on the last part, and the heart design, which is very cool and blends well with Ruby's outfit. Now this is what it looks like after baking, and it's ready for painting. I started painting the portion which holds the blade with black acrylic paint, and also the spikes, which is also black. On the other side, and I also skipped the heart design, which we will color later with gold and red. Now I also painted the bottom part, which has the vines, with black, thoroughly painting the crevices and the nooks and crannies of the bottom part, making sure to paint all the hard to reach parts, edges I mean. Then after that we move to the blade. I used a silver acrylic paint for this one, and painted the other side. In this part, I chose a much darker gray color. And also the upper part of the handle, which is also colored with gray. When that's done, we now proceed to the heart shape. We first painted it with gold, then overlapped it with a red paint. Because of my brush, it's blunt and old, there is a overlap of paints on this side, which I'll run through with black color again to cover the gold. so that's fine. Painting the other side, other heart design. And that would be my hair. I'm sorry for that. As you can see, I used a gold paint first, drawing the heart shape. Then after that, I'll color it with red. Now this one would be, we're painting the handle with gold, and this I would like to show you how blunt my brush is. Now onto painting again the handle, evenly coating it with gold acrylic paint. Now this is pretty much done, and I hope you like this video. And can I ask a 100 likes for this video? Is it possible, guys? So if you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think about this build, and see you on my next video. Bye.